Hi guys, and welcome back to Blues Focus TV, and today I'm going to be previewing Blues' upcoming away fixture against Fulham. Now, when this game was originally supposed to be played, they weren't in the greatest of form considering they're Fulham. They were drawing games and, well, they weren't hammering teams. This game got postponed due to COVID, and it's been rescheduled just as they seem to have found their form again. They've scored 13 goals in the last two games, a 7-0 victory against Reading and a 6-2 victory against Bristol City, which had 7 goals in the first half. This could go one of two ways. Either we're going to sit back very deep, defend for our lives and try to get something out of the game, probably end up losing by the odd goal but not having much in attack, or we will try and play, concede an early goal, and it'll just be pretty horrific. Now, that's if they're on form. But if they play how they have been over the past two games, that's probably what will happen. Now, if they're not at their attacking best, then the game's there for the taking. We can go for it. And if they're not as clinical as they have been, we could maybe cause some issues. But I'm not too optimistic about this game, as I don't think many fans are of any teams when they come up against Fulham, because if Fulham are at the best of their abilities in this league, they will smash anyone to pieces. Now, before we continue with the video, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'm going to set a goal, 20 likes on this video, and we'll get a transfer roundup video out sometime soon, because there's a lot of links flying about with Blues at the moment. And I think it would be interesting to analyse some of the players we're looking at and get your thoughts on whether these players are worth going for as well. So 20 likes and we'll get that video out for you. But let's move on to the opposition, Fulham. And Fulham, they're top of the league and they have a game in hand over the two teams below them. So they've played 25. They're on 51 points and they've scored a ridiculous 64 goals, which is just crazy. We've only just went past the halfway point for Fulham's fixtures and they've got 64 goals. It is incredible how brilliant at attacking they are. And they don't concede too many either, with 21 conceded, so just under a goal per game. Now, they weren't in great form when this game was supposed to be played. They drew 4 in a row, then they lost. And now they've won their last 2 games, as I said earlier, scoring 13 in 2, which is, again, just highlights how good attackingly they are on their day. And I'm hoping it's not going to be the same in this game. Now, MITROVIC, as everyone will probably know, is absolutely flying this season. He tends to be dubbed as the championship cheat code, as every time Fulham come down, he gets them back up again with a lot of goals. And he's managed to score 27 so far, which, again, he's going to break records if he carries on going the way he is. Now, I think I've praised Fulham enough in this video so far, and it's going to be a tough task. But let's move on to the Blues. And Blues, we're 18th in the league on 28 points with 24 goals scored. Now, we're obviously not the most prolific team. We went through a bad spell earlier on in the season where we could not score at all, and then we scored against Swansea to break it. Our last 5 games, we haven't won. We drew in our last fixture, 1-1 with Preston. It was, it's a decent result. At least we didn't lose it, and there's plenty of winnable games coming up. This obviously not being one of them. Now, just to highlight how prolific Fulham are, we've scored 24, they've scored 64. 40 more goals than us. So it's going to take some doing to beat them. There were some bright sparks and positives in that Preston game though. Hernandez made his debut and he looked like he brought something a bit different to the attack, which is obviously very useful, and it was nice to see some players getting forward, wingers, instead of just so defensive. Different options, crossing into the box, very good. Jordan James, again, is looking like he's playing well beyond his years. He is a great prospect for us, and he's playing so well. Mengi, also so young, and put in another good performance. Hogan came off the bench, and he scored the equaliser pretty soon after coming on. It was almost an instant impact, and we could have won the game later on. Put a lot of pressure on them towards the end, but we just couldn't get that winning goal. But as I said, at least we didn't lose it. Hogan got us a point, and we move on. Now, Ivan Sanchez has been transfer listed, which obviously will be sad to see him go. I know I will. He is a player who has a lot of quality, and it's quality that we need in the team, really. We don't really have that sort of quality anywhere else, apart from Chong, who is obviously injured. So it'll be sad to see him go. But I guess if we can get a bit of money for him, because that seems to be what we're trying to do, get a bit of money for players, get a cheaper alternative in, or, as we've seen so far, loan deals in. Taylor Richards more than likely won't be available for this game. I'll be happy when he is, so we can finally see what he can do, and he does look promising, but still got a bit of an injury. Don't think he'll be fit, but you never know, he might be able to make it. Now, that's it for Blues. Looking like it could be a difficult task, but you never know. This is the sort of game we turn up, shock everyone, and get a 1-0 win. Jutkovic scoring a header. But let's see what's happened previously in the head-to-head. And in the head-to-head, we lost 4-1 in the reverse at St Andrews. And we've also played them another time this season. They knocked us out of the League Cup 2-0. The last time we won against Fulham was 3-1 in 2018, so a while back. But this game, it's so difficult to call. As I've said previously, if the Fulham turn up that have played in the last 2 games, we will be lucky if we concede less than 3 or 4. But I don't know. I'm going to be really, really stupid and optimistic. For some reason, there's part of me that believes we can get something out of this. We can surprise them. We've had some new additions in the team. We've got rid of some dead wood, or at least they're not playing. So, I don't know. I'm going to look at this from a very optimistic point of view and go for a draw. Hopefully Mitrovic doesn't have his goal-scoring boots on, and they're not as clinical as they were last time against us, as in that 4-1. I don't think that game was a 4-1 at all. I remember them not having many chances, just being very clinical and constantly hitting us on the break, and I actually think we played pretty well in that match, and we're very unlucky to lose it. let alone it be 4-1. So I'm going to go here, a 1-1 draw. So those are my rather optimistic thoughts on this Fulham game. But what are yours? Let me know down in the comments who's going to win the game, what's the score going to be, and who's going to get the goals. And I'd like to see if any of you are as optimistic or maybe even more optimistic than us. If anyone thinks we can win this game, let me know down below why. What have you seen in our team that makes you think maybe we could get something very good and surprise the league out of this? Please like the video, and remember, 20 likes and there'll be a transfer roundup sort of video about some of our links in the future. Subscribe to Blues Focus TV and hit the notification bell for more Blues related content. And if you've liked this video, please go over to my channel and take a look. Premier League Championship content, and there might be some gaming stuff coming along the way. A Blues Football Manager career mode. So if you like the sound of that, go over and please subscribe, it really helps. I've been James from Blues Focus TV. Can we get the points here? I think we might be able to get one. And up the Blues.